Greetings, dear precious spirit soul that you are. And you're, beyond the words in this sound. Very interesting. My topic, how to be a winner in the human race. Now, do you think that someone called us the human race to make it sound like we're supposed to be competing with each other? We've got to go fast. We have to hurry. If we're going to be a human, you got to be in the human race. Well, you know how to be a winner in the human race, because it's not set up for you to be a winner in the human race. It's set up for conflict all the time. Competition. Now people say, oh, competition is good. It's not about that. It's great when you want to bring forth the greatness within you in anything that you're doing, to express it magnificently. And yet, in one way you could look, all art is beautiful in a sense. All drawings, maybe, whatever they, could tell things from little drawings of where people are in their consciousness and that sort of thing. And so all of these talents and everything we have, all is really possible to us. But by keeping us in the human race, and then they call the different groups, the different colors or species of the humanoids bodied here, that race and that race and that race and that race, white race, yellow race, black race, brown race. What? So what does that indicate? Because the way we operate is that we tend to, when infected by this mind virus, and this we want to do is to recognize it, and then the recognition of it starts the healing process, because that tells you're unfolding, you are awakening, and the trance, in a sense, is weakening and disappearing from your own awareness. So the way to win in it is to get out of the human race. And what has ever winning meant? It always meant, well, you'd be happy, you'd be successful, you'd have money, everybody'd like, well, yeah, but what, you want to feel good, you see? And there's always that worm of anxiety, and that mind pumping out fear and guilt and hate and envy and of this, and I'm not good enough, and nobody loves me, and then they think they're better than I am, and and I'll show them. It's all of this is how the virus operates. So you can see how big the infection is, and so the real key as a healer is. It's really interesting going barefooted. I'm not today because it's got a lot of snow out here right today. And I have run over little patches of snow, just barefoot. But like when I was trekking in the Himalayas and up, 10,000, 11,000 feet, all these people, they didn't have any shoes. And they really didn't even have any jackets. They had some things, but they'd run around barefooted. And this one Sherpa that carried me on his back for a couple of days when I was going to leave the body up there, but it wasn't time yet, or not time. Yeah, I was more to know. He had just crust all around his foot, you see. And these young girls, they'd carry these 60-pound packs on their back and laughing and giggling, running up these mountains. It's just amazing, just beautiful. So anyway, when you give up the human race, you don't have to prove anything anymore. See? When you give up the human race, you don't have to make good time. There is no good time, because time is a concept, and why the watch is there. It keeps people watching that clock on the wall as for what they're going to do, what's happening, how long they're going to be here, and all this, and giving all this power to the time machine when you want to be out of time, you see. Then you're ageless. You are in that awakening. You're dropping all of those definitions of what a human is. You're dropping all of that stuff, information, to keep us in formation, lining up with the same mindset, same thing, you see. Because that then is what feeds this virus. It eats on your emotions and suffering, you see. That's what it lives from. It's very strange. And so the healing is to actually give up those definitions and stop suffering or getting excited, you see. And my book, Live Your Bliss, describes how to do that and why the bliss state is simply your power point. You see, it's not, love is who you are, an absolute love. And that is, yeah, it's great. So don't let people talk, but most here isn't love. It's lust, it's like and dislike, it's I hate you today, but I loved you yesterday, and it's competition, you see, because then we're told through all these plays, all these movies, all these, ancient stories of the conflicts, the war. Well, I guess it's natural because it's all we've ever known, because you're getting what you know from those who want you to know what they want you to know, you see. It's like, as a truth seeker, you don't have a predetermined thought or idea of what your research is about. You want to know the truth. And the truth sets you free. And it's the truth of who you really are. You see. And that's the key, because we're so attached to thinking. We say, well, how would I exist without it? That's exactly it. And who says that? Your mind just said that. Just said. Come on. You have to actually do this. And that's why I have people come to Shasta and I work with them. Yes. And it's like that. It's or over the phone or however it may be. In person, at the coffee shop, whatever it is. And when we give up the human race, we win because we're already there. And once we get that, now the mind is going to just make you nuts. Just, yeah. No, you got to look, where's that coming from? Why? Why does that virus do that, you see? How do I get healed from it? You get healed from it by taking the power away from it. It's it. Because it is not it. You are. Most people are living in their story. Why? It's your story. Why are you living in it? You say. You want to step outside. That's how. I did these meditations years ago on tape. I think I still have them on CD. But you would just go kind of, and it came from after I did Robert Monroe's work in Virginia when he was there. Anyway, you just kind of elevate yourself up above and the body, and you, in your consciousness, however, and let free yourself, in a sense, from all these things, that strings holding you down from being who you are. And it's all this cultural stuff and all the sentimentality and all of this keeps jerking us around and sucking our life force, because the mind, the virus, lives off of us. But what's happening, it perverts our perception so that we actually believe the mind is our friend, the thoughts are ours, and this is what's possible and available to me, what I have learned, la 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 la. And then the shutdown of anything that would bring the person fully realize, actualize, activated, and fully who they are. Yes. And then you take who you are, wherever you are, and in whatever role you're playing, because we are multivaried and abilitized. I'm making up words, I think. Yes. But yeah, so we're using words because we've had, but we're consciously then using them and also knowing the medicine. And that means knowing the distinction between you and the mind, knowing how to keep centering yourself, coming back to self, trusting and knowing the wisdom that you are, that is with you. This is who you are. Yes. And I just always ask that you share these videos or the YouTube or however, or copy them or use them and share them, whatever. I want you to have it. And if that can bring truth and knowledge and help people to be liberated from that, the ignorance and the realization and revelation of who they really are. And then you can check the website, doing things, and then you're doing stuff at Shasta and over the phone and all that. So I'm available to be there to support you in any way that I can, and in my ability, and also that I want to do that too. See, that's the thing you got to trust too. It's in trusting yourself. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to follow their rules of what they say you're good and you're bad or no. It's the end of evil now. You have to get this. It's the end of evil. It's over. And I would say, I was going to say evil is passé, because even the word evil is lived backwards, you see. And this living backwards is the result of the infection of the virus. And then we become susceptible to it, and it then becomes so much of who and what we think we are. We keep reincarnating through holding on to the subtle body, the false mind, intelligence, and false ego that is not you. You could look what your identity, if you want to say, beyond all that, transcending all that, source of all that, you see, as it flows through you. Yes. Now you might say, well, this is a lot to do, but you got to do it now. Yeah. So just breathe in and be who you are. Yeah. And start communicating with the divine within. Not the mind. Start noticing. More and more knowledge. Listen. Absorb yourself. Yeah. Absorb yourself. Maybe you could put these on a recorder somehow. You could put a bunch together or something. You could listen and whatever it is. And when you do that, instead of your mind wandering and torturing you while you're driving or going somewhere, you can listen to that which is inspiring and keeps you centered in yourself. Before meetings, before this, before that, before whatever it may be. You see. So evil is passé. It's over. Because in the moment, right now, you are the winner in the human race. And everybody is a winner because we're not competing. We're having fun. We're playing, you see, and celebrating our differences as well as our sameness that works for the good of all, you see, including the animals and the insects and the plants, yeah, in the natural world, you see. Yeah. Act as if, and you are. Because you are.